I'm Stacy Holmes, and this is Glordinary, a few moments where we celebrate God's glory and champion the ordinary. I'm glad you're here. My family is a puzzle family. Just when you thought I couldn't be any more geriatric, here we are. It started when I was young, the puzzling. One Christmas, my family got really into mystery puzzles. Have you ever tried those? These are the ones where you don't know what the picture's actually going to look like. However, after years of buying mystery puzzles, it occurred to me, I could just do the puzzle without looking at the picture on the box. Every puzzle's a mystery puzzle if you just don't look at the picture on the box. And let's be honest, for most of us, life doesn't look like the picture on the box anyway. None of us expected the picture of our lives to turn out quite the way they did, for better or for worse. We didn't plan for the sickness, the injury, the layoff. We didn't see that short-term job turning into a long-term wash, rinse, and repeat. Or the divorce, or the blending of families, or the long season of singleness. We didn't expect the pregnancy, or lack thereof, the disguised blessings or bittersweet beginnings, and endings for that matter. And maybe, this season, life just doesn't quite look like the picture you'd imagined. Not always bad, just different. Maybe there's different people around your table this year, people missing around your table. Maybe there's not even a table this year. And maybe your life feels far more frazzled than you'd hoped. Oh good, it's not just me then. And that's where our Advent Remembers series comes in. In our last conversation, we talked about the God of all hope. But today, let's unwrap Advent again as we chat about the God of all peace. Now, I don't know about you, but the holiday season can feel like a lot of things. And usually, peace ain't one of them. There's a lot of extra, am I right? When life's frenetic and fast-paced, how can we possibly feel at peace? Well, Paul's got a thing or two to say about that. Listen to Colossians 3:15. Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, since as members of one body you were called to peace, and be thankful. Now listen, I'm just over here making my list and checking it twice. But if you come up to me and tell me to just let God's peace rule in my heart and be thankful, Stace, well, I'm going to end up landing on the naughty list real fast. Yet Paul's telling us to let the peace of Christ rule in our hearts, that we are called to peace. So there must be a way to do this. There is. God never asks us to do something, calls us to be something that he also won't equip us to do or to become. So that's the question. How do we live in peace when we're falling to pieces? When life feels like a mix-mash of puzzle pieces? And what the heck's peace anyway? Absence of strife and conflict? Inner tranquility? Harmony of mind? Well, when Paul writes, let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, the word peace in the original Greek means quietness, rest, and set. Now that word set always catches my ear. Set. Interesting word choice because I rarely feel at peace when I'm upset. In fact, it makes me think of my Grammy. Anytime we'd travel anywhere with Grammy for any distance of time, she'd always bring a few soft drinks in her yellow and white cooler bag, complete with straws because apparently a lady doesn't drink a soft drink without a straw. And no matter how old I was, I'd always hear, Stacers, make sure you don't upset your soft drink. Now, of course, this didn't mean upset like angry. She meant don't knock it over from its fixed and set position. So how do we let the peace of Christ rule in our hearts? Well, we can't upset the soft drink of our minds. Okay, well, Paul says it a little differently than Grammy. Actually, it's kind of a full circle moment for Paul because he begins Colossians 3 this way. Since then, you have been raised with Christ. Set your hearts on things above, where Christ is, seated at the right hand of God. Set your minds on things above, not on earthly things. Paul, like Grammy, jumps in with several imperative statements. Do you remember imperative commands from English class? It tells someone or something what to do, when to do it, how to do it. Like, leave me alone, bring me chocolate, tell me I'm pretty. Sorry, those were my text messages to my husband, John. I'm kidding. Wait, were those my last messages? I'm kidding. But before Paul gets to his commanding statement, he puts a little spice on it first. So look at verse 1 again. Since then, you have been raised with Christ. That word since is a conjunction. I know. Look, I homeschool for a living. It's gonna come out sometimes. Where was I? Oh, yes, since is a conjunction, but the original language here carries a connotation way beyond the English word since. It means on account of the fact that, or for the reason that. So what Paul is really saying is this, with a little bit of my East Coast flair: for the simple fact that you're a believer, would you just do this already? Or, as one theologian puts it, you are, now be. You are, now be. I love the way the Amplified Version relays verse 1. Set your minds and keep them set. Set and keep them set. Ugh, setting is hard. Keeping them set, way harder. How do you keep them set when it's so easy to be upset? We let peace rule. Great, another Christian platitude. Well, not exactly. Paul writes, let the peace, the quietness, the rest of Christ rule in your hearts. And that word rule means to rule like an umpire. Well, what's the role of an umpire? To know the rules of the game. An ump will make decisions, enforce fair play, and maintain order. And when peace rules in your heart like an umpire, it means Christ's peace has the final say. It makes the call, is the deciding factor of what's safe and what's out, what's fair and what's foul. So what's ruling in your heart? What's ruling in mine? Is it peace? I don't always know. But Paul's going to throw us a bone one more time. Listen to Colossians 3:16. Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly. Dwell in you richly. Now, dwell's a cool word in the Greek. It means to inhabit, but it comes from the root word oikio, which means to occupy a house. That's interesting to me, and it makes me think of my teensy tiny house. You see, before John and I had kids, we inhabited our house. Everything had its own spot. We had plenty of room to spare. We even had an extra bedroom that we dubbed the dressing room because we kept all of our clothes in there. I know, so pretentious. Then we had kids and stayed in the teensy tiny starter house. Now we occupy our house. Every square inch of our home is occupied, not cluttered, but occupied. And when the word of Christ occupies you, it's coming out and through you when you don't even know it. You're living his word in every nook and cranny of your life. It's searching your heart, your thoughts, dividing between soul and spirit. In the messy places, you're finding a treasure trove of his word under the quote-unquote couch cushions of your life. And those stuffed closets of your mind, well, they start overflowing with Christ-like thoughts and actions, clearly not of your own. I've heard it said that the peace of Christ rules where the word of Christ dwells. So is it possible to navigate this season, whether that's joy to the world or I'll have a blue Christmas? Is it possible to let the peace of Christ keep you steady, stable, and sane? Yes. Paul would say, number 1, set your minds and keep them set on things above. How do we do this? Number 2, we let the peace of Christ rule like an umpire with the final say of what's fair and what's foul, what's safe and what's out. Number 3, we keep our minds set and let the peace of Christ rule where the word of Christ dwells. Read it, listen to it, sing it, memorize it. We walk in his words until his words walk in us, because the peace of Christ rules where the word of Christ dwells. Now may the Lord of peace himself give you peace at all times and in every way. The Lord be with all of you. 2 Thessalonians 3:16. Remember, you're not alone in this. I'm praying for you, friend. Have a glordinary day.